Welcome to the Biz Gone Social podcast. We help entrepreneurs navigate how to get known, get customers, and get the edge over their competition. Here is your host, Lorraine Duncan.
So here we are on the Biz Gone Social podcast, and I am so glad to be here. And my promise to you, as always, is I want to give you a little bit of verbal caffeine that's going to energize your business and your social media marketing and help you stay social. After all, don't you want to be the business that everyone's talking about? I know I do. And I am actually so stoked to have a really great guest today, David Boehm. And he is just such an interesting person. And I just thought I'd share him with you all. So David, welcome.
Lorraine, thank you. Thank you for having me.
So you are a business owner, and what I want to do is I want to hear a little bit about what you do, what your business is, and what you do.
So my company is an international service company, and we help people take discounts on some of life's essential services that they're using every day. And then we help others and train others to do the same for their friends and family to help them take those same discounts.
Awesome. And as you're doing your business, what do you enjoy most about being involved in what you're doing?
I really love the fact that I get to impact people's lives on a daily basis. Not only do I get to meet new people each and every day, find out what their issues maybe are, what problems I can help solve for them. I just really love the interaction of new people each and every day.
Yeah, and I could see that it's so funny. You come from a place of service, which is a lot of times other people that are in business for themselves, they do not. It's all about, let me get a sale, let me get a sale, let me get a sale. And I really appreciate that about you. And what do you enjoy most about being in business for yourself?
I really love the fact that the time freedom it gives me, it lets me do all the things that I want to do. This business also affords a residual type of income. And so I don't necessarily have to be working, 9 to 5 every minute of every day with anybody looking over my shoulders. My business is done in the nooks and crannies of my life, everywhere that I go and everybody that I speak with. I can introduce them to what I do. And then it's their decision if it's something that they think it's for them on a business opportunity side, or whether or not they can actually take some discounts on some of these essential services that we all use every day.
That's awesome. There's a lot of people that are listening today that either have a business and they've been doing it for years, or they're thinking of starting a business, or they may be thinking they want to start a business, but they don't know where to begin. And we always talk about like the good things about business being, the freedom and making money and helping people. We always talk about that when it comes to our businesses, but we never talk about the challenges. What would you say is one challenge that you have as being a business owner?
Well, a challenge that I have is trying to get people to understand that traditional business is not always the best type of business. I've been in other businesses myself, and I've been an owner of a couple of different businesses with a lot of employees. And with being a business owner, there comes the problems that come up in business as well. In what I do now, the company that I work for, everything is taken care of already. The regulatory issues, the product is already there. So all I have to do is interact with people and let them know what I do. And then it's up to them to really make the decision on whether or not they think this is something for them or not. Again, what we do can be done very, very part-time, or it could be done full-time. And so people don't need to leave their current jobs to do what it is that I do. They can, again, weave it into the nooks and crannies of their days.
That's awesome. And by the way, I think it's really important to note that if you are trying something out for the first time, whether it be, working for a company or doing something, I highly recommend you don't quit your job right away until you're able to, fund your business fully with, having a steady income coming in, or you'll get stressed very easy because, you got to get that funnel started.
Absolutely. And from what I've seen and what I found, that's what people do a lot. And what happens a lot of times is that their income eventually meets the income levels from their other job, and they end up, as we sometimes joke, get to fire their own boss, and become independent business owners for themselves.
Right. What is, you talked about your company a little bit and some of the things you do. What is one product that your company has that you're most proud of and that you love to share with others?
I would say our mobile wireless service. We have a proprietary business that works off of the T-Mobile network. And, as most people know, when they took over Sprint about a year ago, they've become the largest and fastest growing 5G network in the country. And it's just a wonderful product that for me, myself, and my family, I was able to cut my expense by 40%, and the service is absolutely fantastic. So I love when I can present this to people and help them take that discount where they're getting, better service than they most likely had before.
Yeah, I mean, and everybody, let's face it, everybody is using cell phones today, so it's a much needed service. So here we are, we have our businesses and everything, and sometimes when we have a business, we have to make quick decisions, important decisions quickly. Can you tell me about a time where you actually had to make an important decision very quickly and it turned out to be really good?
An important decision really quickly. Well, I think one important decision that I make every day is who I want to reach out to and contact. And, one thing I've learned is that I'm not going to prejudge anybody. I'm going to present what it is that I do to everybody. I'm certainly not going to try to push anything on anyone or even, try to oversell them. I just want to present and educate what it is that I do. And then it's up to the people to make their minds up whether or not they want to get involved again as a business opportunity or just for the savings. And so I just want to reach out to people and show them what it is that we do and let them make their own minds up.
Yeah, and I think that's actually a very good tip for everyone out there, that we don't, when we start out and we need to get clients, that we don't prejudge them. I remember saying when I first started out with my social media management company that, oh, they can't afford me. Oh, they'll never, and that was prejudging. And that actually was more detrimental to me than just if I just would have shared. So I think if you look at it from the aspect that all you're doing, look, you have a gift. We all have our gifts, what we're going to be doing in our businesses. And it actually is a disservice if we don't share what we have. And so because I know this, because there was just somebody that was looking to get involved in some part-time thing where they could bring some extra money. There were like 4 things that I could have gave them to do. I know 4 different companies, including your company, including, what I do on the side sometimes. And I didn't share it with them. And you know what? They went and worked for another company. So here's the thing is if you don't share it, they're not going to know. And you're not giving them an option. So they could have been your next star or your next person on your team.
Absolutely. You just don't know what is keeping people up at night and what their situations are. On the face of things, everything could look amazing, but you just don't know what's behind the scenes. And if you don't present the opportunity, as you said, you could be doing a disservice to them and to yourself.
Yeah. And, it's interesting because that's so important to know, because some companies are better than others especially when it comes to network marketing. And interestingly enough, there's a guy out there, both of you and me are very familiar with. His name is Eric War. And he has a book out there called Go Pro. And I have this book, by the way, it is on my desk. I have it on my desk, and I've learned so much from him. And he has a lot of things that he talks about in his book. But what has been the most helpful when thinking about doing your business and going pro and being your own business owner? What is the one thing that he talks about that has helped you be as successful as you are today?
Definitely about expanding your comfort zone is one of the aspects he talks about. People sometimes kind of pigeonhole themselves into what they think is their comfort zone, and there is so much more out there that you're capable of, and you don't want to go from 0 to 100 in one step. But if you go, step by step and just continue to open up your comfort zone and not be afraid to approach people that you think won't be interested in what you do, then you can be very successful. You just need to, again, I don't want to push anything on anyone. I just want to educate and communicate, have conversations with people so that they understand what I do. And as I've been saying all along, then it's up to them to make their own minds how they want to proceed.
Yeah, I mean, and that's great, because the thing is that if you are continually talking about your services and how you can help people, eventually there's going to be someone out there that it's going to like. I just remember when I was first introduced to a product and I was a little hesitant, but then I tried it and then I liked it. So I just think it's so important that you come from that, you just want to share, educate, not be too salesy. I think that's, and here's the bottom line is it's all about sales. I mean, if you think about it, we're always selling. So, but it doesn't have to be the icky car salesman type of, where look, if somebody says no to you once, fine. But then a good thing to do is say, hey, would it be okay that if I just, contacted you in a couple months just to see, where you are and if there's anything that we could do to work together. And usually they say yes. Nobody ever has said no to me on that. And everybody says, I remember when I was first taught that concept, they said like, oh no, I'm never going to do that. That seems, but make it like you, make it sound like you, make it like it's coming from you, meaning that you owned it. There's things that we have to own in our lives that it's easily talked about. Here's the thing that I'm really most excited about you, David, is that when I first met you, you had signed up for this challenge and you're always into personal development and you shared all these people with me and stuff. What do you have? Is there a plan that you have in place where that you are, how you're going to stay like top of your game? I mean, how do you continue to stay on top of your game? What are some of the things you do? I think it's important for our audience to know that, because a lot of times people, when they go into business, they think they're alone. And I know that you've set up yourself for success by having certain support systems. So I want to share a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in this business, you were never alone, which, we talk about how you're in business for yourself, but you're never in business by yourself. And there's so much support out there that it's just an amazing thing. And again, I just want to share every bit of what I'm learning, the personal development and personal growth that you mentioned in the time that I've been doing this business, I think may be the greatest that I've had in all my years of being in business. I'm really, learning every day that I don't want to, again, be too salesy, and I don't want to push anything. I love my company. I love our services. I think they're great. We're a 30-year-old company that's been, we partner up with very, very high-end companies, and people either will see that or they won't. And again, like I've been saying all along, it's their decision at that point. And all I can do is communicate what I feel, my belief system, which is very high, and then just keep growing my team. As my team grows, not only, of course, as you said before, sales is everything. Like if I don't have any sales in my business, I'm not going to make any money. We all have to sell at one point or another. But a big part of what's important to me is, as my team is growing, is to be the mentor for everybody that comes on my team, so that I could educate them on all the pitfalls that I went through and try to help them avoid those. And that's really what I'm excited about this business, is to help other people to grow, especially people that have some situations maybe that they need to get out of, whether it's savings for college educations, whether it's credit card debt, whatever it may be. If I can help those people to grow their own independent business and get out of those situations that they're in, then I feel very gratified.
Yeah, that's awesome. And what if there was one piece of advice that you would give someone just starting out, whatever they're doing, if it's a network marketing company that they're working for, or if it's their own business, if it's a service business, whatever business it is, what is one piece of advice that you would give them to help them succeed?
Well, I give this advice to my two kids, my two boys, is to meet somebody new every day, at least one person. Now, in my case, I probably meet 10 new people a day, and sometimes more, sometimes less. But my advice to my kids and to anybody else starting in the business, start off by at least meeting one new person every single day.
That's awesome advice. There's probably another one of your favorite people, Jessie Lee Ward. She always says, find your 5 peeps. Find your 5 people. There's always 5 people that you can find and reach out to them. That's awesome.
And also, I had just heard the other day that I think they said that each person that you meet, on average, knows 200 people, I think. So imagine that, like, for every person that you meet, they know 200 people. You meet another person, there's another 200 people. And look how big your sphere of influence can grow so quickly by getting referrals and trying to educate and communicate to all the people that they know.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, I remember, sitting down and thinking about, who can I reach out to? Who are the people that I could reach out to? And I wrote a list, and I had way over 200 people. And I went after the people that I didn't know well. I didn't want to, I'm not one to want to try to sell things to my friends and family. So I kind of started out in the out, and that's it makes you more comfortable. Whereas you make, a lot of times you always have to start out with the people so you feel more comfortable, so you can get more comfortable. So, but I did it the opposite, just to be the opposite. But yeah, I think I ended up with a list of over 525 people.
Well, that's a big part of how you grow your list, is by asking people for referrals of the people that they know who might be interested in my case, either the services we provide or as a business opportunity.
Absolutely. Well, everyone out there, again, I want to thank David for just joining us. And if there's anybody out there that isn't sure what kind of business they need to get out of the daily grind of working for someone, and they kind of want to take control, the reins, and have their own business. If you're looking for somewhere to start, David's company is great. I would so thrive over someone who would mentor me in the way, because everybody, we all want the shortcut to not making those same mistakes. I know that I talked to a young man yesterday who just wanted to know, how do you have a digital marketing agency? And I just said, I shared everything, all the pitfalls, all the things that I think you should do. And one of them is exactly what David said, is you got to get out, if you're going to have a business, whatever it is, you got to get out there and talk to someone. So if you don't know what that business is and you want to kind of explore, David, how could they get in touch with you if they needed to get in touch with you?
They can certainly email me. My email address is my first and last name, which is David Baim, B as in boy, A-I, M as in Mary, 0@gmail.com. Or I have no problem if anyone wants to give me a call on my phone. That number is 215-262-8631. They can either shoot me a text or give me a call. Unless I have a prior meeting, I'm always available to talk to anybody at any time about anything.
That's awesome. And I'll also put all the links, all the information in the podcast post. And again, until next week, I'll see you soon. Bye now.
Thanks, Lorraine.
Thanks for listening to the Biz Gone Social podcast. Find us on Instagram @BizGoneSocial for extra tips. Check back weekly for new episodes. Until next time, stay social.